How are you? The Rockin' Berries. He's in town. 64 of Britain, baby. Still describes what happened to me.
Don't have to tell me he's in town.
You see, at about 64,
He's back in town.
I was not well socialized. But being a drummer, I found a close friend, Dean Eldridge. He was a great friend because he had been to Mexico and he had got samachis, I think that's what they call them, tire treads on shoes. And that was so hip, man. I spent my whole life yearning until I finally got hibachis when I went to Mexico with Chad. And it was a life-fulfilled dream because I had the shoes that Dean Eldridge showed me. Thank God I'd been waiting all that time. And Dean Eldridge was the picture of cool, baby. He wasn't any big, guy about, well, he'd walk into the room and everybody stop. No. But he was cool. He was the essence of cool. He was actually kind of short and just well put together with his Mexican hibachis on. And he inspired me to, all about surfing, even though I had been surfing once with some kind gentleman of some sort of friend of mine who took us to the beach down Southern. They said, you don't need a surfboard, just get in there and paddle. And I didn't, it was glorious. Yes, you could surf without a surfboard. And I did, and I loved it. Nipples got kind of sore. What are you going to do? It's always something. So back to Sunnyvale, and back to Dean Eldridge. This is about the time that I had turned my bicycle upside down. Oh, yeah. You can't control me, baby. You know what I did? Somewhere I saw the idea that one could turn the frame of one's bicycle upside down. And amazingly, that the wheels would still hit the pavement before the, rest of the frame. Who would have known? Who would have thought? Sure enough. Of course, you've got to take the handlebars off. The handlebars are in this kind of thing, And what you got to do is because, the wheels go up here right now, and the handlebars go down here right now. Well, we can't have that, so you just unscrew it, and you take it apart, and you put it up the other way, so that when you turn the frame over, all of a sudden the handlebars are down here, and the wheel is up here, and all of a sudden, both wheels still touch the ground, even though everything is topsy-turvy, baby. Oh, what a shock! Who knew? But my father knew how to help me. So yeah, thanks, Dad. You really came through on this time. Because what it needed was, okay, you got this place where you're normally bicycling, pedaling. That's usually very low to the ground where that happens. But when you turn the frame over, all of a sudden these pedals are way up here. That's the main difference. Yeah, both wheels still touch the ground. That's kind of a shocker. But then what you notice is, the pedals are way up here. That's why up front, where the wheel and the handlebars, where you turn it upside down, that's why you do that. So the wheel is all of a sudden still underground for you, and the handlebars are still up front for you, but you gotta put an extension on the handlebar so that it can be far enough, because right here is where you're pedaling. So you gotta have a little extra space. So I had an extension you would not believe for the handlebars. But I also welded on, thanks, Dad, to my dad's expertise. See, I'm a wildcatter. I just think up these stupid things. But my dad, having built his own airplane and, being accustomed to just kind of winging it and just kind of making things work, he was right on board with me. He welded that sucker pipe right on there. That was just the right size to where finally when I got up to the space where there was time, because I had to sit down, it was the right size. So all of a sudden, we got this wheel on the ground, and this wheel on the ground, and these pedals way up in the sky, and a pipe going up to the seat, and an extension going up to the handlebars, and all you got to do is successfully get on the thing. Because you can't just come up and sit on it. You gotta come up and get up behind it and start it rolling and get up there on the seat and grab the handlebars, and away you go, and magic happens, baby. I remember many a time at the school where I, schooled, looking out to the bike rack and seeing my bike, being way up here, and way up here, and way up here. There was no mistaking the fact that my freaking bike was in the racks. Got it? Well, some people didn't like that. Well, that's what you get for being a rebel, Some people don't like it. Well, up your ass. But anyway, I was best friends with Dean Eldridge, who was the other drummer at the current time. And the way that we could tell we were drummers was I had taken lessons from the guy at the music store, and I had bought a practice pad, it's called. And so you got a piece of wood, and then you got a tilted piece of wood, and then you got a piece of hard rubber on it. And the great thing about that piece of hard rubber is you could do the same, get the same response from a drum from that piece of rubber, but it didn't make any noise. So you could practice all you wanted, and the family wouldn't kill you. Great. So Dean and I were best friends, best drummer friends, and he showed me the way of being a surfer, and I just stuck to what I had, which was drumming. And then someone moved into the neighborhood. And the one that moved into the neighborhood used to know Dean. I think his name was Steve. Doesn't matter. And all of a sudden, when I went over to practice drumming on our practice pads with Dean, he said, "I'm sorry. I can't be best friends with you anymore. Because I'm best friends with the new kid in town. What I'm gonna do?" I said, "Okay, we had progressed, and I had benefited from, our friendship, and I had gotten a new school, new drumming teacher, and things are progressing. So there's a little hit, boom. It's like you're a shark, but you're an airplane in World War II. Boom. Oh, there's one on the left side, but you'll make it though. It was like 25 or 30 years later. I wouldn't have recognized any of these people that were my group of friends because I just wasn't well socialized, so I didn't remember. But they remembered me because I was the drummer. And evidently that was noticeable to them, whereas I didn't think it was. And it was many, many years later when we were in Monterrey, Ed City, baby. We were given a concert in this place that we had built up by performing many benefits to get the money to rebuild it. It was after this concert that it burnt down. That wasn't a mistake. They didn't want it there. It was still the height of rednecks and hippies, and gee, was a shame. We didn't mean any harm. We just wanted a place to, a place. No, they couldn't have that. But during that concert, a couple of the strangest things happened. I'll give you the one real quick. The first one is this dude from who knows where gets up on stage while we're playing and is adjusting the tones and the volumes of whoever guitarist. And I'm throwing sticks at him. I don't have enough sticks. I'm throwing at him. And I'm missing him. And I'm like, you get the hell off of here. Oh, so he finally gets off. That Ridge is one of the most entertaining moments of my life. He's just gonna help us by... So, let's see. What was the other thing? I'm having a hard time remembering. Oh, yes. We took a break. We had one more big set to do in the restoration of this facility that had taken so long to bring in the money which we had provided by doing benefits. And all of a sudden it's the last concert and we have the money and it is rebuilt and here we are. And I take a break right before the last break and I go down, where the beer is. I didn't have to tell you that. And when I get there, this girl comes up to me. She says, Dennis, how are you? So nice to see you. I didn't know who this was. But when she described herself to me, I remembered her as being one of the high school crowd that I wasn't really welcomed into. But, that's the way things are. But she remembered me because I was that drummer, you see. I stuck out much more than her because she was just one among the many that I had problems with. I didn't pursue the problem. I understood it. It just was what it was. But she remembered me as the drummer, and she told to me that did I hear the news about Dina Dell, my friend drummer from way back when, who couldn't be my drummer anymore with the practice pads because his friend from old times had arrived, so he had to be best friends with him. You know what she told me? She told me that Dean Eldridge took LSD. And when he took LSD, he couldn't quite differentiate the difference between real and non-real. So he climbed over the fence and walked onto 101. And BAM! He was no longer the person that I remembered. He was still alive. Sorry, man. Isn't it funny the way stories end up sometimes? Nice to see you. Sorry about this. Love you, Dean. There we go.